The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the assumptions, views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host and guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. In addition, all copyrighted material is used without permission and will be removed with notification from the rightful owners or their agent. So there.
From the deepest depths of the interweb to all the ships at sea.
You found Just Killing Time on Radio TFI
With your hosts, John Shan, Bill Fancher, Ed Van Ness. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Your Honor, may I have permission to treat Ms. Vito as a hostile witness?
You think I'm hostile? Now wait till you see me tonight.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Well, good morning, kids and kittens.
Hello.
From high atop.
Hello. Hello.
From high atop the radio.
Hello.
It's going to start early, isn't it?
Early and often.
From high atop the Radio TFI Executive Tower here in Queens, New York, you found Just Killing Time here on the Radio TFI Radio Network, the Radio TFI Streaming Network, and all the other networks combined. I'm Ed Van Ness. Joining me, as always, from the Central Command Studio in Columbus, Ohio. Good morning, John. How are you today?
Hiya.
Also joining us from is the 1948 Bloomfield, Indiana Apple Festival Little Miss Runner-Up, Bill Fancher. Good morning, Bill. How the heck are you today?
You said you wouldn't bring that one up. You told me. You promised you would not bring that one up.
It wasn't my intention, but some weeks we got to bring up the ones that they're still talking about it there. By the way,
yes, they are.
They are. Have all
it warmed Ed's heart, so he had to bring it out.
It warmed the cockles of his heart.
And my cockles needed some warming. Let me tell you.
There are legal issues still pending on that, so please.
Well, if my cockles can be of any assistance to you. All right, kids and kittens, here we are. It's Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. We're here.
Sunday.
You're gonna do it. Do it right.
Well, sorry.
All right, let's start off with a little sad news this week. The boxing world lost a great one. We lost George Foreman this week. Not only a great boxer, gold medal winner in Mexico City in 1968, and but frontman for the greatest little cooking appliance ever to be invented. Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, George Foreman had a career before he sold hamburger makers. He was one of the greatest boxers ever, and that's back when I was still paying attention to boxing and all that. We him and his 14 kids all named George.
Exactly. There's a story behind how he wound up doing the grill.
What's the story?
It was originally going to be Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
And they couldn't get a hold of him in time. And it was between a blender and the grill. So they got in touch with George, and George said, I'll take the grill. And Hogan got stuck with some dumbass blender that apparently didn't do very well.
Yeah, because we're all going, what blender? What
What?
blender?
See, exactly.
What blender? But everybody knows the George Foreman grill. I believe he was
Exactly.
70. I believe he was 76 years old when he passed, and
Mhm.
not only a great boxer, but one of the great all time personalities.
Oh, absolutely.
He was in that Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal kind of, sure they
Oh,
were great,
absolutely.
great in their
Mhm.
sport, but boy, oh boy, you could plunk them down just about in any situation, and
Yep.
and it was
Yep.
just a lot of fun. He will certainly be missed, and I think we're all again, even if you're not a boxing fan, if you're a food fan, if you like eating, especially if you like eating burgers.
Well,
Ali
he's back up there
versus
duking it
Foreman
out with
certainly
Muhammad and
killed
Joe
boxing
Frazier now.
fan.
All right, both of you were talking. Let's start
Oh,
with Mr.
sorry.
Shannon.
Ali and Foreman actually made me a boxing fan.
There you go. There you go. Bill, what was it you were saying?
He's up there duking it out with Joe Frazier and Muhammad.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing a round robin tournament up there.
And by the way,
Down
folks,
goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
just to make this point, like I try to do every week, notice both of them were well into their sentences and their statements, completely disregarding the fact they don't listen to the show while they're talking. They couldn't hear each
There's a
other. They
show?
wouldn't hear each other. Yeah, exactly.
There's a show?
Is that
I
what
thought we
we're
were just
doing
talking.
here? I thought we
Show,
were breeze here.
not only a show, but Shotani. Is it Shotani show?
I knew you were going to say that, you dirty, rotten bastard!
That's Mr. Dirty Rotten Bastard to you.
There's a Red Hulk now?
The Dodgers played the Cubs in Tokyo 2 games to begin the Major League season. And Bill, our own Mr. Fancher, was just so excited about it because, Bill, explain to the folks how big of a Dodgers fan you are. How much you be loving on Shohei Ohtani.
If there could be a giant thorn stuck in your colon that was transversing your transverse colon and causing you to bleed crap, I might be at that level. Might be. That's kind of nice, but I can't dirty it up for the show.
I thought that was a preseason game. That was an actual.
Both
No,
games.
those were
They
actual
counted,
games.
huh? Wow.
Regular season games, yes, sir. And you had 5 Japanese players spread out over both teams. So, good on them.
Yeehaw.
Bill has issues with Mr. Ohtani. I don't. How do you pronounce his name, Bill?
Dickheadus Maximus. I think he's
Bill,
actually
can I
Roman,
ask
so
you-
yeah.
Can I ask you something? How do you
Sure.
really feel
Yeah.
about him?
You really felt
I don't know. I gotta keep that bottled up inside, otherwise I'll just explode.
Well, yeah, don't explode.
All right, let's try to keep this train on track. Just to let's move on to what it's time for right now.
Oh
It's
yeah, I gotta see what Tesla is doing this week.
you know how to do it.
Cue the band.
Cue the band. Oh yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is the Radio TFI Market Watch. Brought to you by Pete and Tony's, down by the highway. Uber closed the week at $75.84, up $4.29. Lyft closed the week at $11.98, up 6 cents. Uncork the champagne. Tesla closed the week at $248.71, down $1.27. Finally, Trump closed the week at 2025, up 4 cents. The First Lady must be so proud. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch. Brought to you by Pete and Tony's, down by the highway.
And that's that. We there's a little bit
I
more
thought
production value to it this
Tesla
week.
took a little bigger dump than that.
Well, you got to
but I-
remember that's over the course of a week. We don't do the daily. During the
No.
week, it took.
Well, yeah,
significant
because they had their White House commercial on, so it must have
Right,
helped a little
right.
bit.
We,
That didn't help any.
well,
Nope. Go back and
Just
look at
add
what
it-
we were doing in December with Tesla, and look at it now.
in I mean, on top of all the other illegal things that Trump has done, that is also illegal, is shilling. You cannot use the White House for advertising. Not that he cares. I get that. I get that. I get that. I'm not, and there's only
Trump. I'm going to do this whatever I want.
there's only one thing to do at that
Oh,
point.
brick, it's too heavy.
Exactly.
But
Cue
a
the
can of soup, you
cue
can
the
really
soup,
put some
go.
power into that, right?
Twitter
all you can do.
viewers, you have been warned.
I've been warned.
Mhm.
Anyway, so where are we? Let's get some of this stuff out
Where
of the way.
the heck are we?
Where the heck are- Thank you. Thank you, Chief Screaming Eagle?
I think that's
was
what his name was.
Screaming Eagle. Anyway.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
hold on. I was watching the show, something on National Geographic, and this one guy was a cop from Colorado, and his name was Richard Storch. And I thought, yeah, okay. Then they put his face on the screen. I go, there had to been a relationship there, like maybe his son or brother or something. Because I like, damn, put a hat on. It was F True.
And by the way, we're referring to the great comedic actor Larry Storch, who played Corporal Agarn in F Troop, and he just passed recently, just in the past couple of years.
Did. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
quote me on that.
No. It's relatively recently. I mean, he lived a nice long life, without question. He would show up in these little parades wearing the Agarn hat and and all. So what I'd like to talk about, what I'm going to talk about here once we get settled in, is my trip to the Social Security office this week. And we'll get there. We're going to get right. Right. We'll have sound effects from the Goon Patrol. But before we get there, is there anything else anybody would like to discuss as far as what's topical right now? What's going on in DC or any other place where they're screwing us over royally?
You said topical?
Yeah, just put it on.
I've got some Benadryl.
Yeah. Okay.
It gets rid of that Shohei.
I put
Use it liberally.
The Otani's a little tougher to get off, though.
Yes, it is. You need a belt sander for that.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when I just stop and leave them be. It's silence. It's dead air.
There's nobody to talk over when you're quiet.
That's right.
You'll lose your cue, and it's like, wait a minute,
I
should have been talking by now.
So anyway, so let's start this. We'll veer off into other things. This, like every other thing we do on this show, we are driving down an icy mountain road on bald tires, on baloney skins. There's no telling where we're going to wind up. But here's where the story
bald. God damn it!
All three of us.
Yeah. Hey, come on.
No, that's true. Don't worry, Bill. We'll get you. We'll get you.
I still got thatch on the roof. Give me a break.
So many, many, many years ago, I secured myself my Social Security card. I was 14 years old back in the day when you didn't really get it when you were born. You waited until you had a job or something that you needed it for.
Well, yeah.
Most people. I mean, that was the norm where I was anyway. So I went to the Social Security office, which was on the corner of 52nd Street and Broadway, just above the what we called the Penny Arcade. It was like arcade, or 53rd Street. Anyway, so I went in, 14 years old. I signed up and I got my card. And this, ladies and gentlemen, that's not it.
That's not your card.
It was Ed at the Social Security office.
He was excited about the soup can flying again.
Yeah, it was the soup line back then. So hey,
I mean, there it is. That's my card. If you're watching,
You realize that people are going to see this.
oh my
now.
God, I can read that.
Yeah. Hell, I've already got the damn thing written down.
Yeah, I mean 7472. Your last four? Oh shit.
oh geez. Well, first off,
You are fined 1 credit for.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh shit, I said shit.
Ah,
You are
shit,
fined
that's too
1
bad.
credit for violation of the verbal
no.
parameters.
What's your language?
Thank you, John.
all right, so I didn't blur it out as much. Anyway, so when they gave me my social security card, and by the way, that picture, that is the only social security card I've had. I got that in 1973. I've done the one thing that on the card it says not to do. I laminated it, but that was 1,000 years ago. So on the card, my name is
Really?
spelled correct.
Because I think I got mine laminated.
So
I
It
don't
says
know
on
where
the
it
card,
says you
not to
can't
put.
do that.
yeah, I
It's
remember reading
Oh,
that.
but I also like
yeah.
on the back. If you read the back of the card, I want to know how you can do this. It says, in the event of death, please return card to the Social Security office. I'm going to
Well,
come
not
back
you.
clawing my ass out of the grave just to return my Social Security card.
It's property of the U.S. government. So anyway,
I'll have Diane bring it back, I guess.
there you go. There you go. So anyway, so I get my card, and it was actually they put it in a typewriter and typed my name on it, and it's spelled correctly. The issue here is my last name, which, if you're not familiar, my last name is VAN capital NESS. It's actually 2 words. So back in the 70s, and many people in my situation with a name formatted like mine, computers wouldn't recognize that space. So as often as not, it all came out as one word. You dealt with it. Corrections are made. So recently, in the past year or so, when I had the audacity, the nerve, the unmitigated gall to turn 65 years old.
Damn it.
Stay with us, Bill. Bill! Bill!
Okay, so I'm sorry.
I start getting paperwork back, and I'm signing up for things, and they've got it as the one word. And after a little research, I realized, oh smack, they hand typed it. So now I got to find out how do I change this, because I don't want this when those big fat juicy Social Security checks start rolling in.
What other fairy tales can you tell us, Ed?
I got a million of them. I want my name spelled correctly.
So the bank accepts it.
Well, believe it or not, over the years, there were some issues with that. Certain places would go, well, you spell it this way and it's on the check this way. Yeah, but it's me.
That's it. You got my ID right in front of you.
You ever thought of an underscore?
But my name is not spelled with an underscore.
Well, that would have been kind of cool, really.
That'd be a good
No,
idea.
it wouldn't have. No. How
put a
about
slash or a hyphen or something?
John, how about I spell your last name with 2 Z's instead of 2 N's and a Q instead of an O?
That would be cool.
Because I don't have any spaces.
Well,
I don't have two parts to my last name.
Well, wonderful for you. Congratulations. Some of us,
thank you.
Some of us have these issues in life.
Well,
moving on.
More issues
when you have 2 left feet.
And I'll be quite honest, this is already going better than I thought it would.
Oh, really? Oh, John, he has thrown a challenge flag.
So now I find out everything I need. I get somewhere in this apartment, I have my original birth certificate, chiseled in stone and all that. There's
cobwebs.
Cobwebs, yeah. So
was it on a big rock like
rock?
Like
yes.
when you get a document from the Flintstones era?
Exactly. That's exactly it. And I remember the bird saying, "It's a living," as they were chipping it out.
Uh-huh.
So I send off to the city of New York, and I get a copy of my birth certificate. I get not an exact copy. So that takes a little while. I'm in no rush. My goal now is to get this accomplished before I become Bill and retire. Like I said, before these big, fat, juicy SSA checks.
You gotta no, Ed, you gotta keep working so you can fund me.
Is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah.
we'll revisit that some other time. So I get all that, and now I'm just trying to figure out when to go. Try to make an appointment because with the work schedule and all that. So,
because it's just so tough.
Well, some of us have to work. Some of us do have jobs. Yeah, exactly.
Like who?
Yeah, they're really. And who are you referring to?
Yeah, watch your mouth. So, week before last, I realized I'm probably not going to be working next week. Let me see what I can do. So, you can't go to just any Social Security office. You have to go to a particular one that does the cards. Here in New York City, there's one in each borough. So, of course, Bill, have you spotted the Nazis off the coast yet? Have you spotted?
Oh, look, nobody gives a shit.
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal parameters.
What's your language, bud? We're on the air.
So I get online to make an appointment for the office in Queens, and I'm looking for anything from last week. So I go, I look at check the appointments, what's available. Well, the next appointment available is sometime in mid-April. I'm like, yeah, that's not. I checked the Bronx, I checked Brooklyn, I even checked Staten Island. Everything is
Jesus.
Mid-April or May. All right. As much as I don't want to check Manhattan, I do it anyway. Manhattan is basically sure. When do you want to be here? I go to the web page, and with the available appointments, it's like everything. It's like everything. I did this on Monday this past week, or was it Friday? Monday. And I could have made it the next day. I decided to do it on Thursday for reasons. But I could pick my time. I could pick it didn't matter. So I made it for Manhattan. Now this brings me to, I have to go to Manhattan, which in and of itself is not a problem. But driving into Manhattan it's not even about the congestion fee, which I would pay the $9. It's the $55 for parking that I would have to pay, because this was in Lower Manhattan, down around Wall Street and all that. That's.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, no, you don't. You have no clue.
Well, then why are you explaining to us where it is?
Some people out there are familiar with the geography.
How many of you out there that have become intimately interested in this story? Please call in.
He was going to try to valet park at the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah, at the Waldorf.
The Waldorf
I'm
Astoria
King Joffrey Juffer.
is in Midtown. It's right by Central Park, closer to my old neighborhood. This is further down. So anyway, I decide I'm going to take mass transit. I'm going to take public transportation. So now here are my options. I can walk 2 blocks, get on a bus, ride that for 10 stops, get on a train. No matter how I do it, I have to take at least 2 trains. So that's okay. So I'm trying to figure this out over the next couple of days. And then it dawns on me. I can drive my car to the train I really need. There's parking there. Underneath, it's an elevated train, and it cost me $4.
Oh. Who'd have known? Who'd
have
have thunk it?
You will be.
Who would have thunk it?
You're not familiar with how this godforsaken city is laid out there, Bill. It's not really.
Nor do I give a rat's ass.
It's not the first thing you think of. So I drive my little car over there at the appointed time. I get a beautiful spot, literally right next to the stairs. By the way, it's 2 flights up.
And you
to the train.
didn't buy a lottery ticket? With that kind of luck, damn, you could Mega Millions would have been looking for you, boy.
So I get up to the first level, barely. And this is where you
Barely.
pay. This is where you pay to get in. And they have a new system in. You can just tap your debit or credit card, and you go through the turnstile. My card, it just wasn't working for me. It took me 5-10 minutes. I had to buy a Metro card. I won't even get into that. So I get on the train. I get upstairs. By the way, this is the number 7 train. This is the train you take to get to Shea Stadium while it's.
Are you sure? I would have thought it was the 8. Are you sure it was the 7?
I'm positive.
You sure?
Go ahead. Bill. Finish it.
Okay. No. Oh, George!
I'm painting a picture.
Yeah, you are, Rembrandt.
Well, I gotta give them that. At least they do have a little bit of mass transit in New York.
We got a lot of mass transit.
As opposed to Wichita Falls.
Oh, come on. You can walk everywhere in 15 minutes in this town anyway.
Hitchhike, maybe, but.
So I get on the train, and it is just the tail end of the morning rush hour. So the train is a little crowded. Within a few stops, it's pretty much cleared out. So I take the train to the designated stop, 42nd Street, Times Square, where you can catch
ding ding,
where you can catch virtually any train. You can make transfers from anywhere. So now I have to transfer to the downtown train, to the train going downtown. This train goes east-west. I need to go north-south. Well, it turns out the walk is a lot longer than I thought it was, including part of a good chunk of it uphill. Now, you're still underground. You're still...
Both ways!
That's right. I was getting there. So, I mean, the uphill part, I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit daunting. I haven't walked that far in quite some time. I finally make it to the A train. Yes, it was the A train. Take the A train.
He took a train.
I took A train.
Yeah.
Get on the A train. I get going, and we get down to Fulton Street, where I need to go. And I come out, and it's a brand new station I have never seen before. And we are buried. We are at least 5 stories underground because it's just stairs and escalators and stairs and escalators.
Look out for the lizard people.
No kidding. If they're there, that's where they are. That's where the alligators are. Man, I tell you what. So I find my way out, and I find the street. And okay, it's 2 short blocks. I managed to fight my way out of the subway. It's a beautiful station. Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ed Van Ness's D-Day story. It was that there took this much planning to get to the Social Security office.
And I haven't even gotten there yet. I'm not even
there. I
there
haven't even
yet.
gotten there yet. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now.
What? If there's a what?
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen.
I like the way all that sounds. I don't know what it means, but I like the way it sounds.
It's from Stairway to Heaven.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm tied up in my story now.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
We're trying to distract him, John. Damn it. Come on. Give me some help.
Well, he was lucky enough to find a train station that hadn't been taken over by rats yet.
Oh, no, that's
true.
All. That's all of them. There's no question about that. There's you don't get away with that at all. So now I get to the office and I go upstairs and I go through security. Pleasant fellow there. We have a nice little chit chat. I'm wearing my Dolphins hat. He's a Steelers fan, so we had a little tete-a-tete. My appointment was 11 a.m. I got there, I don't know, 10:30 a.m.
When did you leave? The day before? Because this story has really gotten involved.
I hit the train about 9:20-ish, 9:30-ish, something like that.
Did it hit back?
It did hit back. It's the number 7. It's a tough train. Man. It's a tough
apparently.
Train. So I sit down, I get my little ticket. You know, you got to kind of log in on the computer system there. Not that you guys would know anything about computers.
Excuse
And
you?
Hold
I
on a
will
minute.
not.
What the hell?
You're
Computer?
missing one,
Computer?
right? Let's do
Computer.
this. Okay. You done, Scotty?
Use
Would you
the
like to
keyboard.
Keyboard. Oh, queen.
use the mouse? Use the mouse.
Mr. Mouse, where are you?
Come on, you know
I'll
what
get
the bill. If you're
Hello,
not,
Where's the
computer.
cat?
thank you, John. John did it. Thank you.
I can't find my stinking mouse. The cats have been in here.
So I sit down, and honestly, I don't think I waited 10 minutes. I get called up to the window. They had a whole bunch of windows, a whole bunch of people there. So I have a nice little conversation with the young lady who takes care of it. Everything goes fine. Everything goes fine. The only reason it took any time at all is because we were chit-chatting. And so she gets
You were
everything
wasting a government employee's time.
Oh, we talked about that, and I said,
Oh, you should be lucky they didn't come in and cut your ass right then and there, because they'll cut a bastard.
There is a sign there. It says, "We will cut a bitch." We will cut a bitch.
Told her to watch out for Elon coming here.
Yeah. Well, I asked her about that. I
No
said,
kidding.
"What's?" She says, "Nothing official. Nothing has happened yet, but you can kind of feel it in the air."
Yeah.
So I left. As I was walking, as I come out of the building. Now, this is Lower Manhattan, where the streets are tiny. I mean, very narrow, very narrow. So on William Street, which is where we were,
How narrow are they?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
There's parking on the right side, and then there's just enough room for a lane of traffic. That's how narrow these streets are. So as I come out of the building, there's some nitwit with this big old Range Rover parked on the sidewalk. You know, he's mostly 3/4 on the sidewalk, and so I'm walking by and I bump into his truck. Maybe accidentally, probably not.
Probably not.
And I was going to push the mirror, but I opted not to do that. But I bumped into the truck, and so just as I get past him, he leans out. "Hey, what's wrong with you, boy?" I said, "Get off the sidewalk, you effing nitwit."
Yeah, I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. Hey,
I'm walking here.
Remind me
friggin'
not
sidewalk.
to come see you in New York and have you show me around the joint. I could see that.
I'd have bumped
'Cause
into the
you-
truck and fell and flopped like a crappie.
Because he spouts off at some redneck in his Range Rover, and I'd have to get out and say, "All right, motherfucker, just chill out."
Oh, Johnny! Johnny went for the gold. Atta boy.
yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Atta boy, dog.
Purely accidental, too.
Yeah, it's just amazing how that happens, doesn't it?
I find that so hard to believe. I couldn't begin to tell you.
Purely accidental.
No trunk monkey for anybody today.
I got people turned on a trunk monkey Thursday night at bowling.
Did you know?
Yeah,
So that solves that problem. And I got on the train, I went home, and I made it home in one piece. The end. Questions?
Oh, good.
oh
Now-
man, how long did that story take? Are we into next week's show yet?
Why? Where are you going? You got something better to do?
My sides.
I
are
didn't
hurting.
say. Well, maybe I could find something better.
You start talking. We got 25 minutes to kill here in this hour. Start
No,
yakking,
because I
boy.
can't interrupt myself.
That'd be an interesting thing to try.
It would, wouldn't it?
I'd like to see you try.
That's it. You know, I was walking down the street the other day. Hey, wait, shut up, leave me alone.
You know, I could set you up so it's just you up here 3 different times.
You're a big boy. You can handle it, Bill.
I could for about 5 minutes.
God
nobody
knows
to play
I've done
off
it
of.
enough times.
Yeah, but you got nobody to play off of, so you know.
Life's full of little
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. What's about playoffs?
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Put to the head.
Oh,
Let's go for the trifecta.
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself.
There you go.
you didn't give me one last week, so it's like, damn, man. I was like limping around all week.
You felt lost and alone. And
Yes. I didn't know what to do.
You didn't feel the need to call your doctor after 4 hours?
No, I didn't. I was
Pre-show-
skateboarding down the street.
Pre-show, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about that famous line in the commercial. If you have an erection lasting more than 4 hours, contact your doctor. And we were discussing who we would call besides our doctor, because that's the last person I'm calling.
Unless the doctor's got a bunch of bitches with him, I ain't calling him.
Unless
well,
the doctor
you know
is,
what? I know who Ed's calling.
Ed's over there starting a forest fire. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Clean
Two
up
words.
on aisle 4.
2 words come to mind. Moist towelette.
Yeah, well, those weren't the 2 I was thinking of, but okay.
Trust me. It's the only 2 I can spit out right now. It's
Oh, I saw on Jimmy Kimmel last night. They were doing there was something. Adam Schiff was on the show. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but they're talking about stuff. And now maybe you should bleep me. I don't know. I'll try to keep it clean.
maybe you should just not say it.
No, because it came from Adam Schiff. He said that they're talking about Trump now. What are we going to do as Democrats? He goes, well, they go low, we go high, and Trump can go F himself.
I'm fine. Yeah. Well, he said it, but they bleeped him out.
Yeah, but they bleeped it. So I was like, hey.
Yeah, well, that's, they need to throw out the playbook. The playbook they have now is pointless. It doesn't work.
You're absolutely
No, it doesn't.
right.
It does not work. A good
Get out
friend of mine.
the attack manual.
A friend of mine used to, well, his own issues, by the way, but he had a great saying, which I always loved. He said, "You have to learn to out bed bug the bed bugs." In other words,
But
got
that's
to be
true.
crazier.
Yeah.
You got to be crazier. You can't-
Democratic headquarters are now at Bellevue.
I once dated a nurse from Bellevue. That's another story.
Yeah, well, okay.
She taught me how to drive a stick.
And I taught her too.
Hey now! Oh, hey!
But she wasn't using a clutch.
Yeah, she wouldn't use the clutch.
Well, see, when I called my doctor about this 4-hour erection, he sent the nurse over. Oh, hey!
Doctor, can you give me some news?
I'm just an axle without a wheel.
Oh my goodness.
Think about it. Think about it.
Oh yes.
I'd rather
Come on.
not.
Please. Think
My
about it.
brain hurts.
Think about it, big boy.
I'm gonna call the DNC and say, sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done.
But anyway, yeah, so they got to start. I mean, because
And
don't-
I'm gonna
these
show you how
Republicans
it's done.
Oh, please do. Come on, Bill. You done? Is that it? It's over already?
What?
Whatever you were going to do.
I didn't say anything. We all went
No,
black for a minute.
that's the thing to do is to go to headquarters or DNC headquarters and listen. I know you want to be professional and whatever here, but to hell with that. You
No.
have
No,
have Donald Trump.
You got to walk in the door and go, Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to walk in the door and say, the new motto for the DNC has to be, "We will cut a bitch."
Yeah, there you go.
And there's a red Hulk.
There's a red Hulk. I watched.
Well, actually, it has to be a blue Hulk.
I
I watched
Jasmine.
I watched Chuck Grassley, that fossil from Iowa, having a town hall meeting. And look, as one guy said, we've sent you there for decades. For over 50 years, we've sent you there. And you could see the look on Grassley's face was, okay, sure, I'm going to stand here and smile at you and go, you're right, we need to do. He could care less. He's 9,000 years old.
What I care, I'm retiring at the end of this legislative session.
Is he?
That's what I've heard. So,
oh, good. Well, then he don't care. That's why he'll show up at a town hall.
Bernie
it don't matter.
Sanders is making a nice little spark plug right now too.
Him and who's that girl he's touring? Who's the girl he's touring with? It's
I don't
never
know,
heard
she got
of her.
a bang.
Never
She got a
heard of her.
banging ass on her though.
Hey! That's my representative in Congress you're talking about there, buddy boy.
When was the last time you talk about any representative from Congress going, damn?
Exactly.
Jasmine Crockett.
Well, you got a point.
And just remember, just remember, kids and kittens, Bill is stuck with Ronnie Jackson. John borders on Jim Jordan. I got AOC.
No wonder.
Yeah,
no
you
wonder
are
he
a lucky
smiles most of
bastard.
the
I
time.
will say that.
And you're wanting to move out of the city? What's wrong with you?
I know what's wrong with me. What is wrong with me?
What's wrong with
I gotta
you?
Now I have to rethink the whole thing. You've put
Yes,
me
you
there.
do.
Ah, boy, oh boy.
Guess what? You may be getting a neighbor.
Oh,
Yeah.
who are you talking to?
You.
All three of us will live up there so we can go oogle our congressman.
Yeah.
Sit outside her office going,
It's ogle.
whatever.
It's ogle.
I have an appointment to see the congresswoman.
As a matter of fact. All serious though. On
It's
that.
Uncle Ernie.
Exactly.
There's a bit
I've
of
got this
there's a
bowl
bit of
with
a-
me.
There's a bit of a reference. That's from the musical, the rock opera Tommy, by the way. I'm your Uncle Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw it.
Go
There
ahead.
is somebody that's causing a little bit of a stir here and there.
You don't say.
Yeah. My
Who
ex-governor,
could that be, John?
Who that?
Tim Walz.
Oh yeah, he's doing the Bernie Sanders tour too.
Yeah.
What I thought you were going to do, John, I thought you were going to start a joke. Well, here's a joke. MAGA walks into a bar.
I have a question.
No, we're not answering
Why?
questions. Get out of the bar.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't. Get out of my bar right now.
You're not welcome.
I'm not fucking around. Get out of my bar.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Out.
Because I'm wearing a Trump
Yes.
hat. That's wild.
I don't care. Get out.
We can call the police, or you can just leave.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Boo fucking hoo! Get out of my bar.
The irony of a Trump supporter saying that's
Who
discrimination.
effing who?
Ooh, that's my boy.
Discrimination. You damn right it is. No, this is called get the hell out of my bar.
You taught us discrimination. Are you kidding me?
Yes, you did.
From what the little bit I read about it,
Absolutely.
apparently there's they had come in previously. They had created an issue, so now it's just like
They
you know,
Oh, they were doing it
misgendered
on
the
purpose.
bartender.
well, oh okay. You know what? And that I find that's another topic. This whole misgendering thing. I'm sorry. You look like a guy. You look like a girl. I'm going to refer to you. If you would like to be called if a she, that's fine. If you want to be called he, that's fine. If you want to be called they, you better be a Siamese twin. But other than that, I will go with whatever you got, except for the they them thing. That I can't. It's too confusing. They want a sandwich. Well, there's only one guy at the table.
It is confusing.
I
I
mean, table for
understand.
two,
I've
please.
actually asked for some help with that.
Really?
Yeah. I have asked for some help with that because
It's tough because
Yeah,
you've got
you're
some people
right.
out there that literally look like us, save for long hair and a set of fake boobs and wearing women's clothes, but with a beard and a mustache. What am I supposed to call you? Sir, ma'am?
What you got to do with that
What's your name?
take
Exactly.
the describer out of it as much as you
Take the adjective
possibly
out.
can. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I worked with a production assistant, a PA, on a show a few years back. And I got a little confused after a while because I kept hearing this person referred to as she and then he. And lovely person, lovely young person. And I finally, we had a chat about it. We were in the van one day and I said, I'm confused. I'm really, I don't want to. And he was, I forget, it's he or she. I'm going to say he.
I would rather not offend you, but
I said, look, I don't know where to go on this. And don't count on me to be able to pick up on visual cues. Because if you're dressing somewhere in the middle, this was predicted on Saturday Night Live years ago. It's Pat.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
And
yep.
I don't know what your preference is. I can't read your mind. But if you're going to present as one thing, but you want to be referred to as something else, wear an effing sign. Let me know. This whole misgendering thing, I just that I can't buy into. Fine, everybody wants to be who they are. I want to identify as a Cocker Spaniel, but
good boy.
Yeah, that's it. Here's Biscuit.
Although they have asked me to stop.
I mean, come on. And what is this? The other one that drives me nuts is this non-binary. Well,
I don't get it.
You know, there are,
but that's what that
only
is.
two choices.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. There are only two choices. You want to be non-binary? Get out of my non-face. Go on.
I guess you can make that rare exception for the people that are born with both sets of genitals. And it does happen
That's fine, but you know what? You don't see them running around saying, I'm non-binary.
Yeah, that falls in with the they, them. In this day and age,
yeah.
Look, maybe 100 years from now it'll be perfectly normal. Right now, it's not. People are not accustomed to this. And people are trying to wrap their heads around it.
Well, it's just going to take some time. Speaking about identifying,
it's the lovely and talented Miss Barbara Fancher. Good morning, Barb. Good morning.
Good morning, Barbara.
But yeah,
They
I
both
mean,
said good morning. Now, F off.
if you're not wearing a sign, or if you're presenting as one thing,
Here's your sign. We'll get Bill Engvall running around.
I mean, if Bill shows up wearing a Dodgers jersey, he can't get upset. I'm sorry. Maybe that might have been a step too far.
Oh,
You sent him into a coronary.
But if Bill's wearing a Dodgers jersey, how do I know that he hates Shohei Ohtani?
exactly.
That wouldn't be indicative.
Probably the knife in the number 13 and blood dripping down. That might give you a clue.
It's 17, by the way. 17.
Well, whatever.
But what am I supposed to make of that? And again, you're presenting as, some of it looks traditionally female, some of it looks traditionally male. You're dressing in traditionally women's clothes that are marketed to women. I get it. You're being you. I get that. But I can't tell. I don't know what your preference is. Your name may be, look, Bill's real name is William. Some people like Bill's, others Billy, Willie. I don't know until he tells me.
Liam.
I hear he likes Mr. Bill.
Mr.
Oh.
Don't, no. Don't start over there, Ed.
In my particular case, I prefer Ed. People will begin to call me Eddie. Look, unless you've known me my whole life or you're my parents, very few people, I don't particularly care for that. I'm not going to not answer you, but, that's my preference is Ed. But how do you know that? Because I communicate that to you.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to communicate.
Get a friggin' name tag. That's how.
Here's the deal.
There you go.
If you make a mistake, leave it alone.
Just say no. I'm sorry. I'm she and her. Okay,
yeah,
great.
don't go into a big old production.
Yeah, I mean, you've got
stick your hand out and say, "Hi, my name is,"
Chris. It's Pat.
It's Pat.
That may not tell you everything you need to know, by the way. And it's Pat.
It couldn't. Okay, now, but here's an example of what you're talking about with accepting stuff. Come on, think back when you first started seeing people with green and purple hair. Did you not think they weren't weirdos? Yes, we did. Now you see it all the time. It's no big deal. So I don't know. Are we going to eventually accept this? Not in my lifetime.
Well, it's interesting about the hair thing. I came to the conclusion early on, it's just hair. It's going to grow out. You can cut it. You can recolor it. It ain't no big thing.
It'll grow out.
It'll grow. Or
in my case,
I'll get too tall for it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate the bartender in that clip. You don't want this mega scum in there who's probably going to create more trouble.
Yep.
And by the way, it's a private business. We have the right to refuse service to anyone.
Yep, exactly.
You're not out in public. You're
for
not
any damn reason.
Don't need a reason. I don't want you in my bar. Why? You want a reason? Here. You're wearing that hat, knowing I know you're gonna create a problem, and I disagree with it. Get out. Go on, go.
Exactly.
That's the only reason you wore that was to create a problem.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I don't know if that was the case, although I think I saw a something resembling a pride flag in the
I believe that's part of the story. There was a pride. There's something outside the bar clearly indicating that the MAGA hat.
Good. So, well, yeah, okay. The MAGA hat and a pride flag. So what? The pride flag. You're not coming in and creating hate and discontent just by walking in.
No, but I'm saying with wearing the hat and listening to the way she speaks after she's been told to get out, she's doing it knowing there's going to be an issue. And
Yeah.
personally, I don't think, matter of fact, I know, and I wish I could remember the details. They did not immediately throw them out simply because of the hat. They created the MAGAs created the situation.
Oh, okay.
No.
Shocking, I know.
No.
Quick, grab your pearls, clutch them.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just coming in, fine. The bartender will do a slow burn behind the bar. He'll serve you your drinks, and out you go when it's But look, very rarely.
But why do we have to change the tenure of our bar just for your ass?
Well, nobody's saying that.
The whole attitude in the bar changes because your dick ass walked in with a stupid ass hat trying to create problems. No, that's not what we do here. Get the F out. I understand it completely. Now you've changed the entire environment in here. Goodbye.
Well, you can draw the same conclusion using a sports analogy. If I walked into a Buffalo Bills bar with my Dolphins gear on, well, I would
probably get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to catch hell for it, but they may not kick you out of the bar.
They may not kill.
They'll have fun with you. Yeah, they may not. That's true.
But when you say it changes the whole demeanor of the bar, as if I walk in with the jersey and the cap on and all that, every eye in the joint is coming to me eventually.
Yeah.
I have now become the center. I become the focus of everybody in that bar.
Which is what that person wanting the MAGA hat wanted.
Look, when I went to Buffalo,
absolutely.
Look, I'll give you the exact example. When I went to Buffalo over the summer, when I spent the week on that commercial shoot,
I remember you saying that.
I wore my Dolphins cap. Why? Because I was in Buffalo country.
I didn't take my Dolphins stuff with me.
I did it intentionally. Why? To get the, I mean, I had a lot of fun with the people.
Ed likes the attention.
He does, because Ed's really a cuttavitch. That's why.
See, other than perhaps Philadelphia, you can go to most of these cities and do that. Everybody will razz you, and it's mostly in good fun. But if you're in Philadelphia, you'll get cut.
but the point is that you are drawing the focus to you, regardless of your intentions.
Yes, that was your entire intent,
is to draw the focus. So they did that, but now it doesn't end there for you, because now the people have said, we ain't having it. Out you go. I mean, I walk into that Bills bar, and they're all screaming, hooting, hollering, yelling until I
was going to say they boo you
until I throw a stack of effing 20s on the bar and say, "Drinks on the house, drinks on me for everybody."
Yeah, then you're everybody's buddy.
Go Dolphins! Go Dolphins!
You're coming into my house. Show me some respect.
Exactly.
Drink up, everybody. It's on me.
That's right. Drink up, Shriners.
By the way, just in case you want to take part in the conversation here, we welcome your input. If you want to give us a call at 754-800-CHAT. That's 754-800-2428.
Phil is waving a timeout. Clock stop.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
1 minute warning.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, it's out. Sorry, we were late with the 2-minute warning.
Oh, I see.
Right. All right, kids and kittens. That's going to do it for this hour. We they got a little excitable there.
I like that. Yeah. Hey, we did well today.
We should do that every week.
Tell you, they're getting no respect around here.
Stick around. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes. We got a little something coming up for you. More to come on Just Killing Time here on the Radio TFI Network. We'll see you in a bit.
TFI.
You found Just Killing Time.
Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
On Radio TFI. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
It was April the 41st. Being a quadruple leap year, I was driving in downtown Atlantis. My Barracuda was in the shop, so I was in a rented Stingray, and it was overheating. So I pulled into a Shell station. They said I'd blown a seal. I said, fix the damn thing and leave my private life out of it, okay, pal? While they were doing that, I walked over to a place called the Oyster Bar, a real dive. But I knew the owner. He used to play for the Dolphins. I said, hi, Gil! You have to yell, he's hard of hearing. Gil was also down on his luck. Fact is, he was barely keeping his head below water. I bellied up to the sandbar. He poured me the usual. Rusty snail, hold a grunion, shaken, not stirred. With a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich on the side. Heavy on the Mako. I slipped him a fin. On porpoise. I was feeling good. I even dropped a sand dollar in the box for Jerry's squids. For the halibut. Well, the place was crowded. We were packed in like sardines. They were all there to listen to the big band sounds of Tommy Dorsal. What soul. Tommy was rocking the place with a very popular tuna, Salmon Enchanted Evening, and the stage was surrounded by screaming groupers, probably there to see the bass player. One of them was this cute little yellowtail, and she's giving me the eye. So I figured this is my chance for a little fun. You know, piece of Pisces. But she said things I just couldn't fathom. She was too deep, seemed to be under a lot of pressure. Boy, could she drink. She drank a lot. I said, what's your sign? She said, Aquarium. I said, great, let's get tanked. I invited her up to my place for a little midnight bait. I said, come on, baby, only take a few minnows. She threw me that same old line. Not tonight. I got a haddock. And she wasn't kidding either, because in came the biggest, meanest looking haddock I'd ever seen come down the pike. He was covered with muscles. He came over to me and said, listen, shrimp, don't you come trolling around here. What a crab. This guy was steamed. I could see the anchor in his eyes. I turned to him, I said, baloney. You're just being shellfish. Well, I knew there was going to be trouble, and so did Gil, because he was already on the phone to the cods. The haddock hits me with a sucker punch. I catch him with a left hook. He eels over. It was a fluke, but there he was, lying on the deck, flat as a mackerel. Helpless. I said, forget the cods, Gil. This guy's going to need a sturgeon. Well, the yellowtail was impressed with the way I landed her boyfriend. She came over to me, she said, "Hey, big boy, you're really a game fish. What's your name?" I said, "Marlin." Well, from then on, we had a whale of a time. I took her to dinner. I took her to dance. I bought her a bouquet of flounders. And then I went home with her. And what did I get for my trouble? A case of the clams.
All right, welcome back, kids and kittens. You found Just Killing Time here on the Radio TFI radio network, streaming network, and all other networks that we can think of. It is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. I'm Ed. He's John. The blank space in the middle used to be Bill. Bill seems to have forgotten that we come back every week right about this time. Oh, look at that. My prescription's ready. And oh, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. It's the one, the only, the tireless Bill Fancher. Hello, Bill. Welcome back.
I had to get some ice for my head after banging it watching that video.
Oh, you don't like fish puns?
Frankly, scallop, I don't give a clam.
Never says the word fish in the whole thing.
No,
Comes close. Comes close. Oh, wait a minute. It's Barbara Fancher again.
Hello, Barbara.
Speaking of killer whales.
Hey now. Hey now.
Oh.
Well, if you missed hour one, we actually had a nice discussion there. We actually talked about this stuff. We made valid and cohesive.
Kind of did.
Yeah, we actually had a show.
Yeah. It was this close to being a show.
Yeah, my goodness.
If you happen to be watching us on the Facebook, you can comment, or on the YouTube.
Or the YouTube,
You can comment. We prefer you watch us on the YouTube because then you can subscribe and follow us and all manner of things. And my apologies, my phone is going off. Walgreens is telling me my prescription is ready. One of the thousands of pills I take.
Your drug dealer's calling you.
My drug.
I'll take 100 milligrams. Thank you.
Thank you. So here we are. I was about to say something, do something.
Once again, I'm getting out my binoculars.
I'm going to make it easy. Somebody help me out here. You know what to do.
Cue the band.
Attaboy, dog.
It's time for On This Date, where we talk about major events, birthdays, and all that. And but before we move on, oh geez, where is it? There it is. There it is. It's a Radio TFI news break. This just in, Bill Fancher apparently has finally gotten the adapter he needs to hook up his monitor. This story is just coming into us now. We more details as they develop. This has been a Radio TFI news break.
Wow, but dang.
He chooses now to show me this. All week long. I asked him at the beginning of the show, prior to the show, Bill, did you get that part yet? Oh, no, I'm retired.
No, well, actually, let's go in depth in the story in the street
Behind the
reporter.
scenes.
All right, we're going to put
This
on this
is
date on
actually-
hold for a second.
Yeah, this is actually an adapter that needs an adapter. So I haven't gotten the adapter's adapter yet because it's not adaptable to what I want it to do.
I can't do
You
this
need
right
to
now.
adapt.
Yeah. Just try to adapt, okay?
Yes.
All right, let's put that aside.
I did.
On this day in 1930, the New York Stock. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one.
That should be.
I had the wrong page. There we go. On this day in 1857, Elisha Otis installs his first elevator at 488 Broadway
Elevator.
in New York. Elevator. Up, and away. Get it? Get it?
Known elevator companies in the world.
That's
Otis.
right. But I put in the up, and
Oh,
away.
yes, my man.
That's one of my favorite lines. We'd like to dance with your
With your dates.
Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today.
On this day in 1923, Frank Silver and Irving Kahn published their hit song, Yes, We Have No Bananas.
But they had a lovely bunch of coconuts.
That's Merv Griffin. That's a whole different thing. You didn't think I'd know that, did you?
Okay.
You're mentioning bananas, now somebody's going to want a trunk monkey.
Oh, no, we'll have none of that. We'll have none of that. Moving on.
Bananas, bananas, bananas.
On this day in 1933, the German Reichstag hastily passes the Enabling Act, and President Paul von Hindenburg signs it the same day, granting Adolf Hitler dictatorial powers. Excuse me. Get ready. That is we produced that one today because get ready for it, kids. Coming to a country near you.
Yep.
On this day in 1990, former Exxon Valdez captain Joseph Hazelwood was ordered to help clean up Prince William Sound and pay $50,000 in restitution for the 1989 oil spill.
Is that all?
You remember Hazelwood?
How was he supposed to help? Get a sham wow and sit out there and soak it up?
They gave him a bottle of Dawn, go scrub some ducks. I
was going to say.
Yeah, go scrub some ducks.
we only get a couple lines here. It's, we do the best we can with what we got. And finally, on events for this day.
Obamacare is a disaster. It's a disaster.
On this day in 2010, President Barack Obama signs the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, expanding the availability and affordability of health care insurance. But remember, it's a disaster. Got anything better? No.
But I have concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
Concepts of a plan. There you go. All right. Born on this day in 1905, Joan Crawford. Her real name was
No more wire hangers.
There you go. There you go. Also born on this day in 1924, Betty Nesbitt Graham. What is she notable for? Two things. Bueller?
What was the name again?
Betty Nesmith Graham.
Oh, I think that was Michael Nesmith's mom, wasn't it? She invented whiteout.
That's the liquid paper. There you go.
Damn.
There you go. You get two on that one, buddy boy.
Or smart.
Somebody give him a piece of meat.
Somebody's been sniffing so much white out.
Born on this day born on this day in 1944. Lead man for the Cars, Rick Ocasek. Passed away in
Did he not
2019.
pass recently? Yeah, okay.
2019, yeah. And he was a scary looking fellow, but married the hottest model you can ever imagine.
Some guys got all
because nobody else wanted to ask her out.
Oh, I don't know. Turning 72 today, but certainly a member of the Forever 21 Club.
Oh,
Chaka Khan.
Chaka
That
Khan.
was a badonkadonk.
That was. She still is.
Absolutely.
She still is.
Yeah.
Turning 49 today, 49 years old, and certainly a member of the Forever 21 Club. And she's got the hair to prove it. Carrie Russell. People are scratching their heads. You'll remember Carrie Russell. And finally,
name sounds familiar.
Well, okay, Andy's just going to say that and then drop it.
Felicity. It was a big thing when she was a kid. When she was younger, she started a show called Felicity, and she cut her hair, and it was like the whole world went bat guana crazy. She's been on a lot of things, none that I can think of off the top of my head. She's an actress. That's all you need.
Well, then it was really okay. Major importance.
And finally, and
oh no,
and so sad because we lost him at a very young age. But born on this day in 1964.
You go now.
John Panetta.
John Panetta. You eat too much. You go home now.
Happy birthday to you.
That's gonna do it for that little piece of pumpkin pie. Bill, I knew you'd feel better.
There's pie?
There's not pie. I apologize.
Damn it!
I got you all worked. I got you all
Here
worked.
comes Barbara with the pie in the face.
Yeah, it's it.
But here's what I do have. You were so good in hour one. And you actually had coherent thoughts. We're going to give you this one, buddy.
Of facts and logic. When honest information is near, they begin shrieking like chimpanzees, drowning out the sound of their enemies and sometimes covering their ears. This cacophony is a defense mechanism to protect their fragile belief system from the harsh reality of truth.
That was for you, buddy. I know you like your
that is
your
for
magazine.
that is for damn certain.
You like your magazine in the wild, and we just and I know that's it. You won't want anything else today. You've gotten everything that you could possibly want from this
Trump monkey
show.
Trump monkey trunk monkey trunk monkey.
It's not a Trump monkey.
Trunk monkey trunk monkey trunk monkey trunk monkey trunk monkey trunk monkey.
I tried everything to get the ladies' attention. Pickup lines. Hi, my name's Chuck. That rhymes with luck. Manly facial hair. Even magic. Cadabra!
I paid for that, you jerk.
But then, I tried Trunk Monkey.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah, we're a team.
The Trunk Monkey Wingman Edition.
Thanks.
Oh.
Feeling better, Bill? Feeling better, Bill?
I'm getting there.
My wingman.
I know you. I know you'd want to trade your car in right now. Go to Suburban Auto Group.
Oh, I saw the one the other day too, where they recalled all trunk monkeys because they open the trunk. There's a lion. Open one. There's a zebra. Sorry, we had to recall those trunk monkeys.
They had some glitches. They had some glitches to be sure.
Uh-huh.
And while we're at it, let's get this out of the way because I know everybody needs to calm down. We need to relax, so we need a little story.
Goose Fabra.
What? What?
Goose Fabra.
I don't know what that means.
Fabra. Oh God, John, you want to explain it to him?
Soshie Otani.
Ah!
All right, we've got a story for you, Bill. This ought to help you relax. Okay, this is your grown-up fairy tale.
Helen's Hole by Jen Genevieve. This is Helen. This is Helen's bush. Helen's bush needs a trim. As she trimmed, Helen discovered a big hole. Helen's hole was big. It was very deep. This big. I need my hole filled. I bet it won't be cheap. Helen called Gemma, a good friend and a singer. Gemma arrived. I can fill your hole with just my fingers. Why are you singing? Oh, wait, so she's like, I can fill your hole with just my finger. Why do I keep singing in these videos? It was pointless calling Gemma. Helen was still in a dilemma. Aw, her poor hole. Neighbor Stuart heard Helen's cries. Seeing Helen's hole was a huge surprise. He looks terrified. I need you to fill my hole to the brim. Can you do that for me? I'm afraid not. Your hole is my cup of tea. Fucker. Stuart recommended Troy. He's the best around. Troy filled my hole last week. He won't let you down. She's like, oh, that's why you didn't want it. Troy got the call when he was at home just chilling. I have a hole that I desperately need filling. Troy arrived, tool in his hand and ready. This may take a while. I like to go steady. Helen watched as Troy got to work. Watching him fill her hole made her smirk. Troy was a man of his word. He definitely delivered. When Helen's hole was full, she could only quiver. Troy said, your garden is lovely. The smell is a delight. I'll be back tomorrow if that's all right. Every whole story has a happy ending. This is no exception, I'll admit. Troy soon moved in. He and Helen were the perfect fit.
Another grown-up fairy tale. I'm guessing the lovely and
He even ran Barb out of the room.
I was going to say she didn't make it much past about page 3.
No, she goes, okay, I've heard enough.
Yeah.
I even unplugged my headphones.
Rick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? Yes,
sir. All right, we've lost Bill. Bill, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still there. I had to plug my headphones back in. You didn't want to see that. I had to fill my hole.
The things I do. The things I do. All right. So you've had your monkey. You've had your I'm going to give you this one just to make sure you know you've had it.
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself.
Hey!
Here we go, kids.
I'm so bloody happy.
Sensory overload.
So
Get ready for
Put
it.
to the head.
Oh! Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
I can't think straight.
The peanut butter
My
box
brain hurts. Oh, the peanut butter box.
Oh my God.
Is there
And here I was just thinking we're starting to stay on the tracks here.
No. Again, this is
We're
it's
starting
a
crazy
to
train.
wobble.
This is a
The crazy
downhill,
train.
curvy serpentine mountain road in the winter covered with ice, and we have baloney tires.
Yeah.
The fact that we even know where the road is
That's
you
a
go.
miracle in its own
is,
right.
is right. The fact
We
fact
take
that
the
we're so-
road less traveled.
we take the road that doesn't exist.
Doesn't we make our own friggin'
Meanwhile, Meanwhile,
back on
back at the
planet
left.
Earth.
I'm gonna get serious for just a second here.
Don't you dare.
Uh-oh.
Just a
How
second
dare you.
here. By the way, this is rock and roll legend John Bon Jovi.
Hi, I'm John Bon Jovi, and I'm standing up for Ukraine. We need you to answer the call from activists and advocates working to support refugees and take immediate action to help displaced people from Ukraine and around the world. Share a video from an activist or share this video so that all of our leaders, they know that the world needs you to stand up for Ukraine and support refugees. Thank you.
There you go. JBJ.
Got through that, and you're to blame, darling. You give love a bad name.
So as we all know, Putin is blaming Ukraine for starting the war when we all
Bastards.
know who actually started the war, Bill. You know who started it.
Donald Trump.
Soche Otani, man. Come on. You know that.
But you're probably right.
He just trying to make Soche look like Godzilla.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, look, here comes Jose.
All we need is Raymond Burr.
Oh, man.
All right, let's settle down, boys. Settle down. Because here's the topic I know you guys have been wanting to talk about.
Well,
the movie I saw on Friday night.
Oh, we've been waiting all week for this. Oh,
I know
please.
you have. Wicked.
Oh, God. I was wondering why you looked gay today.
Oh. Oh.
I will say this. It was
man.
better than I thought it was going to be. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
That's impossible.
Well, you don't know how bad I thought it was going to be.
Oh, well, my expectations got to be worse than yours then.
The thing about it that I enjoyed is, I mean, the not so subtle clues of what's to come. This character becomes this person, and this one becomes that. You know, this is not about Dorothy and the three goons. It leads up to that in part 2, which comes out over the summer or something like that.
Oh, Jesus. Wicked part 2.
So,
are we really going to get a Wicked part 2?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, this movie, the Broadway musical, this movie is the first act of the musical, the Broadway show. The second act is the second movie. They couldn't do it all in one movie. Bill, you know,
they could have.
You don't have to watch it.
That's good,
and again,
I don't plan
bitch
on
gets caught in a tornado, flies to Oz, kills a witch, runs out, and then I'm melting. Then she goes in a balloon and goes back to Kansas. There, I did the story in 2 minutes.
That's not the story of Wicked.
It is now.
Here we go. Now we know that Dorothy was the wicked one.
Dorothy was a communist.
Dorothy was not a communist. You're a communist.
How dare you?
Well, how dare I? Because I said it, or because you know it's true?
What the hell?
I'm telling you, if there was one movie or one show or whatever I had absolutely no interest in seeing, there it was.
Look, this is as bad as Avatar. And that was 2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Oh, Avatar. No. I agree. Avatar was...
Avatar, give me the puke bucket.
I'm trying to find the. Somebody once did a review or a summary of the Wizard of Oz, and I can't find the exact one, but it goes something like this.
Yeah, I gave you the summary.
No. It goes something like this. Girl lands in a strange land, kills the first person she sees, and hooks up with 3 others and goes on a murder spree.
Murder and spree.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking for you two talk.
Follow the yellow brick
No,
road.
there was.
Follow the
Yeah.
yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
the yellow brick road. We're off to see the
There's
gizzard, the wonderful Gizzard of Oz.
Go ahead, keep the.
Oh,
You guys do your show.
No, there's nobody to interrupt if you have us talk to ourselves like that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that I forget that's how it works.
Have you not learned your lesson by now?
I have not, but I have it somewhere. But anyway, that's my favorite review.
That's
of
what
all
she
time.
said.
Young girl lands.
I think it was TV Guide, wasn't it?
No, it was actually a newspaper in California, but I.
Okay.
It was one of those things. The guy just did a snarky review, and it's so funny. But no, none of that happens until the end of what's going to be the
third
the
act.
second. Yeah. No.
And I suppose there's a Barbie 2 coming out also, huh?
One can only hope. No, Barbie was fine. It's a good movie. It's entertaining. I don't understand. There's a little pink in there, and you guys are all worked up about it. Jeez,
I didn't see enough pink.
Hey now.
Helen's hole.
There lies the problem.
Man, you guys, you have no taste. What little taste you do have is.
Yeah, I do, but it's all in my mouth, so there.
Oh, I don't know that I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd go that far.
They have the rating systems, PG, R. What are they going to have? The gay pride flag for these movies?
What are you talking about? Why gay pride?
Yeah, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China?
Okay, you go see this movie. It comes with a free testosterone shot just to help you get through it.
What is it? And look,
does it come with the blindfold and earplugs?
Man, as someone who worked on Broadway for a number of years, as well.
Oh, now you're gonna bring that up. Oh, that makes you an expert. I drove a truck down Broadway.
I once got a cab on Broadway.
Okay,
it makes me an expert.
Just because I watched the movie once doesn't make me Siskel and Ebert.
No, exactly.
Well, they're both dead, so keep trying.
So
give them a thumbs up.
Let me return to what I love the best, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Trump is out here just casually invoking the Alien Enemies Act at 3 a.m. because they let him watch E.T. the Extraterrestrial before bed. And he convinced himself E.T. was the villain. This dude is speedrunning the Nuremberg trials. A couple years from now, the rest of the world's going to be watching the Mar-a-Lago trials on Netflix. J.D. Vance on the witness stand, sobbing uncontrollably, smeared eyeliner and mascara everywhere, saying he only did it because Trump promised he could bang the Oval Office couch. Marco Rubio, unable to testify because his lips are too stretched out from gargling Trump's balls. And Elon, extradited to Nuremberg, Germany, because they want to try him as an actual Yahtzee. And Trump, minutes before the Canadian Army breaks into his Mar-a-Lago bunker, It makes one last Truth Social post. How could Joe Biden do this? Sad. And then inhales a triple Big Mac with a cyanide pill and a Diet Coke to wash it down. But he fumbles a cyanide pill and chokes on a McNugget instead.
No, I'd pay to watch that movie. I would pay to watch that movie.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I'd sit through it twice.
I found the review that I was looking for, and I quote.
Oh, did you now?
I did. And I quote, transported to a surreal landscape, a young girl kills the first person she meets and then teams up with 3 strangers to kill again. That sums it up. I mean, it's not wrong.
Does kind pretty much.
It's not wrong. And that's, I figured that's something you would appreciate, that type of, because it essentially says Dorothy will cut a bitch.
It kind of did, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Oh, excuse me.
And then the witch released all her trunk monkeys. The flying trunk monkeys.
I was watching it the other night, and that's all I could think of. Every time because the winged monkeys do show up.
Fly!
Fly, my pretties, fly. But when you first see them, they don't have the wings. They don't have the wings.
So they were actual trunk monkeys.
I'm thinking, if they don't have the wings, how do they get around? Well, of course. This is where trunk monkeys.
They just magically grew.
And magically delicious, coincidentally. It's
boom, boom.
Thank you.
Always have
That's
to
what
be
you're
lucky
looking for. It's me bag boy.
It's me bag boy.
Hey,
okay, are we going to discuss anything in this hour? Or are we just going to ramble on?
Well, I'm giving the
snippets
people that are watching here or listening, just give them the number just one more time, just so they feel it, just in case they feel like joining the conversation.
That number is
754.
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
800 chat 754-800-2428. That's the number. You can also make a comment if you're watching on Facebook. You can make a comment there. If you're watching on YouTube, you can make a comment there. You're good no matter which way you gotta want to do this.
And suppose thank you. If you're at a payphone.
So there.
Only at a payphone.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll reverse the damn charges.
We will, because we are like that. Who remembers roaming fees when cell phones first came out?
Absolutely.
Oh, good God.
Spent $1,000 just to make a phone call across the street if you're roaming, if your area was, you kids today, you don't realize how good you got it. You don't realize how good you got it. I remember the first time I spoke on a cellular phone. I was in a limousine. Don't ask. You're better off not knowing. But we were making phone calls.
Did you have some Grey Poupon?
You don't want to know. Okay? Sometimes.
No, Grey Poo-Poo.
Grey Poo-Poo.
Yeah, it's it.
But we were making phone calls, and it's like, yeah, it's only like $3 a minute. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the days. Those were those.
Oh, calling somebody from Canada. Trying to call in the States from Canada. Oh, you want to talk about some tariffs? Holy.
International calling. Wow, that was a thrill.
Back in the day before cell phones, AT&T started a thing. It was the 700 area code. What it was going to be was that you would get a number with a 700 area code, and you could go anywhere in the country. You punch a code in any phone you're at. It was basically call forwarding, is essentially what it was.
Okay, sounds like it.
So, but you kept the same number. And of course, cell phones did away with all that, it became pointless. But they were looking at they were doing things like that long before cell phones ever came out. Of course, now you keep your number with you. You know, I still have my South Florida number because there's no need to change it. It
I
don't matter
wish
where
I
you are.
remember my Minnesota number.
Oh, we have it. It's just no good.
Well, in this case, no.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We feel he is a whiz of a whiz. If ever a whiz there was, if ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one. Because of the wonderful things he does. But we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I can dance down the yellow brick road if you like.
I can just picture
No,
you doing a jig while you're doing that.
I just can imagine you singing other show tunes too.
I do. Oh,
in your pink slippers and white tutu.
Hey, I got news for you, Mr. Macho Man there. Being a Broadway performer takes a lot of machismo. Those people work hard. That's
please. That's why they all weigh 98 pounds.
That's not true. That's not true. Have you ever tap danced for 2 hours twice a day?
No, but I was watching a tap dancing and I threw a milk dud up on the thing. They all just
Whoops.
I don't get that.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for the bitch to cut, it's Bill Fancher. Send your cards and letters. You know, our big Broadway audience here is our musical theater kids that tune in every week. Waiting for these nuggets.
I'll bet they're all sitting out there waiting for us to say something.
I think you don't trying to get a hold of Jasmine and get her to come over there and see you, Bill.
Let me ask you a question there, Mr. Fancher. Have you ever watched something that entertained you?
The Flintstones?
Okay.
Have I ever watched something that offended me?
No,
entertained you.
Oh, I was going to say, have you met me?
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, Demi Moore started a movie called Striptease, which was pretty damn good.
You found that
entertaining? But then she never got naked.
Yeah,
she did just not movie. You couldn't see it,
you know.
So let me get back to the question.
Point?
Have you ever been entertained?
Let me entertain you. Yes, I have on numerous occasions. How do you think I stayed married for 41 years?
That's on you. So now,
no, it wasn't.
Who do you think is behind all of these programs and shows and songs and music? Who do you think is behind all of that?
You know what? I really try not to think about that.
I haven't given it a second thought. Exactly.
But if you did, you would realize that.
But if you did, and if you did,
I realized I needed to get a life.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the nicest people I've ever met were behind the scenes.
That may be true. That may actually be true, but does it mean diddly squat to me? No.
No, but what it doesn't mean, it doesn't affect your masculinity to enjoy a rousing tap dance number.
Oh,
hey, it's a talent. I'll give you that.
One of the greatest.
Hey, good for you.
One of the greatest production numbers ever that I've seen, and I've watched numerous times, was on the Tony Awards show, which is that's the theater awards for you cavemen. And sometime in the 90s, Patti LuPone, who played Evita on stage, and she's a great actor, great singer, and she was starring in a production of Anything Goes, and they do the title song, and it's people singing, dancing, tap dancing. You couldn't touch this woman's singing range if you tried. And all the fellas dressed as sailors, tap dancing and on their well, maybe you got a point there. But seriously,
Okay, Bruce Van Ness. Okay, Bruce Van Ness.
So you're saying, so in other words, you're like the producers of the Incredible Hulk back in the day with Bill Bixby.
That's right.
They changed his name from Bruce to David.
I know. Bruce
didn't
was
bother
too
Bruce
gay.
Wayne. Didn't bother Bruce Wayne.
That's what used to made him mad.
But I'm saying
Well, that was back
changed.
in the 70s when the name Bruce had a bad connotation.
But I never understood why. I mean, I know the jokes. I've done the jokes. But,
Truth be told, I'm not aware of why that would have been a problem for
back in the 70s or so. The name Bruce was associated with being a limp wrestler, if you will, a poof,
a poof.
Yes, that's a. Suffice it to say, Paul Lynde could have been named Bruce, and nobody would have batted an eye.
Oh, that you definitely.
Am I wrong?
No,
Was it right? Of course not. Of course not. Bruce is a fine name. Again, Batman was named Bruce. Bruce Jenner. I mean, oh wait a minute, maybe not.
Well, yeah, okay, you kind of missed on that one.
Yeah, I gotta hit the brakes, tap the brakes on that one, buddy boy.
There's a knuckleball in the dirt.
You win some, you lose some,
and the rest get rained out.
Let's get rained out. It's but that's just because of our idiotic views back in the day. And I knew somebody, I know somebody who was named Bruce who changed it to Bruno. You know him too. You remember Godfather 2? And in the flashbacks with Robert De Niro, remember the scenes with Robert De Niro when he was playing young Don Corleone? Somebody say something, yes or no? Bill, speak. Do you
Whatever.
Whatever.
No, whatever.
Do you recall those scenes?
I watched Godfather Part 2 once.
All right. If you remember, they had flashback scenes from when Don Corleone was a younger man. All right.
Yeah.
And he was palling around with his buddy Clemenza. The young Clemenza was played by an actor by the name of Bruno Kirby. Bruno Kirby grew up across Kirby grew up across the street from where I live, from my church, my school. He was cousins with a friend of mine. I kind of knew him when he was older than me. He was on room 222, but his real name was Bruce. But for Hollywood, he changed it to Bruno.
Bruno Kirby, wasn't he the lieutenant
in Good Morning Vietnam?
Yes, he was, and that's why I said, and if you do,
yeah. Again, he's a West Side kid. And...
Damn, how's that for memory? You never thought I had a stroke or something?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Shit. That synopsis fired just like that.
Yeah, now watch this. What's your name, John?
Yeah.
Awful man.
And you gave it away in the question too.
Well, that was the joke. That was thanks for playing our game.
Yeah, what the hell?
You get some lovely parting gifts.
And a lifetime subscription of Rice-A-Roni. The San Francisco tree. It's right.
Don Pardo, tell him what he's won.
A lifetime supply of turtle wax.
I am still upset to this day that Saturday Night Live has never on air acknowledged Don Pardo's passing.
Really?
You have a point. Yeah.
They have never.
They just kind of let it fade into the background.
They didn't even give him a little card at the end of the show that they usually give for people, going into a commercial break. They'll put up a little card, Don Pardo was
must
such
not have liked him.
For that show. And not so much as on the 50th anniversary. Not.
No,
a
you're right.
mention.
They didn't say anything about it on that either.
On the 40th, not a mention of Don Pardo. And except for that weird couple of years when Lorne Michaels wasn't there, and they got rid of Pardo for a couple of those years. But he was with the show right from the start. I mean, he was that voice. He was that old-timey announcer that just gave it, tied everything kind of together. You wanted to, and Pardo would get involved in, every now and again they'd write him into something, and it would, Pardo was a good sport about it. He also participated in the local news here in New York, Live at 5, when that all first started. And the news would open with a shot of Don Pardo standing there on a microphone. This is Live at 5 with Chuck Scarborough and your mama's rice beans, and but yeah, SNL, to my knowledge, has never acknowledged Don Pardo's passing, and I find that almost as annoying as Bill tapping the table.
Who?
Bill tapping the table.
Who the hell is that? I'm not doing anything.
Or John with his one good foot. Knock it off.
I haven't moved my damn foot. Get off my back,
well, one of them you can't move.
I can move any part of my body.
Damn motherfucker, not to get it up your ass.
Exactly.
I want to say I've lost complete control of this, but that happened a long time ago. Long time ago. Forget the bologna skins on an icy road analogy. They done took the steering wheel.
It's just a joystick now.
It's not even. It's just a stub of a nut.
Me bag, boy.
This is a matter of fact.
Sorry, I got me airbag, boy.
Faster, laddie, faster. Oh, I only have one. I put one.
Only one? What happened? Were you in a car accident?
I was. It was horrible.
It was a subway ride.
Yeah,
it was a subway accident.
It was horrific.
One of the
By the way, I didn't see many subway nuts. Granted, I was riding off hours, not exactly peak. But I only saw one or two minor knuckleheads, and it wasn't.
Well, that's depressing.
It was depressing.
Have you ever seen the money train on the subway tracks?
That's not a real thing. It's not a real thing.
You trying to tell me
you should have took the cash cab?
There's no such thing as a money train?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Well,
it's a good movie.
I liked the movie.
Good movie. Who's starting it?
Jennifer Lopez. She
And?
always
And?
Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson.
And? There you go.
Robert Blake.
That's right. That's very good.
Beretta.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
You want to see a good New York subway movie? You watch Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Do what?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, and the original.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that one time by mistake. I thought it was the one with Denzel, and I turned it on. I go, "Who the hell is Walter Matthau doing in this movie?"
Martin Balsam and Jerry Orbach. Not Jerry Orbach. Jerry Stiller. Jerry Stiller. What do these people want for their 35 cents to live forever? That was the other guy. My favorite line. My favorite line. I watched that not too long ago, and it's so weird to see stuff from the 70s, New York in the 70s. Again, I was a kid, and it's like, oh man, was the city really that filthy? Were the cars this dorky? And it's all,
yes, it was.
It was all. The one thing that I put on the script this week, I put nothing on there. I just didn't feel like it. But I did put one thing that I thought you guys would find some enjoyment of it. Lauren Boebert was speaking about the environment and about why. Hold on, Bill. Bill, let me finish. Talking about why we don't have more coal production. And she said, and I quote, "If coal is so bad for the environment, why don't we just burn it all?"
Oh my God.
Thanks. We'll be here all week.
Wow. That should have been on every front page in the country.
Other than the stuff that I have to do every week. See?
I'm surprised the Onion didn't get a hold of that one.
Where do you think I got it?
Oh, okay.
You plagiarist.
Yeah.
You know, you wear it proudly. You wear it proudly.
Well, that comes also down with the clean coal. I see railroad cars of that driving going up and down the rails all the time. And that's the clean coal.
I say we just go.
You got all the Venezuelans scrubbing this stuff, and
we go nuclear all around. And you know why the three of us should be pushing for that? Because we'll be long gone when the bad stuff happens. We'll be long. You know what? Burn coal, burn tires. For all I care.
Yeah, throw them in a pit, burn them that way.
Yeah, there's a pit in Russia somewhere that they. It's like 40 years now. It's still burning. They were digging for something, minerals or something, and it caught fire, and it has not stopped. There's a town in Pennsylvania where
I was going to say there's one in Pennsylvania. It was a coal mine. Yeah,
still burning after 40, 50 years. So by all means, look, 20 years from now, I seriously doubt, and more than one of us is still around, and that one is going to be looking to check out anyway. So
check, please. Not me. Not me. I'm hanging around just to piss some bitch off.
Yes, I'll take the Kevorkian. I'll take the Kevorkian special.
No, I want to be able to piss off everybody that pissed me off when I was young.
Oh, you got it.
And you want to piss on them too.
Exactly.
Oh, that's his bonus. Reach under there. Go ahead. Reach under there and move that sheet.
Look, the one time
piss on your grief before you get a chance to piss on mine.
Look, the one time I had to use a bedpan, okay, and I had to be cleaned up. That's when I made the decision. That's my line. When I can't handle this piece of business, check, please. Check, please. I'm done. There's no point in me. No. I'm not being like El Presidente sitting in my poop all day. Oh, no.
When I had my first knee surgery back in 75, of course, I was still in high school, and they come in and give me a bedpan. I said, "Have you lost your damn mind?" Well, then you got to get up and walk. Well, then watch. I got up and danced to the damn toilet and get up and walk.
I missed
my mama told me don't shit the bed. Sorry.
Come on.
They gotta let. Oh,
come on. You should have given him that one.
I could have gotten that one for crying out loud.
We were this close to the end of the show. We were so close.
Who's in a hurry for the end of the show?
We are right there, kids. We are right there. So I would try to start.
You are fined 1 credit for violation of the verbal parameters.
What's your language, bud? We're on the air.
Nothing. They're like 2-year-olds. They're like 2-year-olds.
Mommy, Johnny shit in the yard.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard it fucking going.
I heard the goddamn shitting bell.
All right. That's going to do it for us here again for this week, kids and kittens. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. John, Shannon, you got something you'd like to say?
Absolutely. Boys and girls, remember Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
All right, kids. See ya!
TFI.